Good morning, Ventura Unified. Welcome to the 2013-14 school year. You know, 12 years ago, we did a video with adorable and precious kindergartners. Well, they are now incoming 11th graders, and we are going to see them again. I can tell you they are still vivacious, energetic, enthusiastic, articulate, bright young people, just as they were when they were in kindergarten. And you know, they're also very complimentary to Ventura Unified School District. Their compliments about the difference that we made should make us all feel very, very proud. So join me in watching a carousel of time. You know, my job as a superintendent, what do you think a superintendent does?
Makes movies?
A superintendent absolutely makes movies. You're right.
Yesterday, a child came out to wander, caught a dragonfly inside a jar. Fearful when the sky was full of thunder, and tearful at the falling of a star. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the planes and ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel.
Tell me, who is your teacher at Poinsettia Elementary?
Miss Ekstrom.
Miss Ekstrom is your teacher. I think I know who Miss Ekstrom is. What does she look like?
She has short blonde hair.
Okay, and what else?
She has a daughter named Bethany and a son named Daniel.
She does. How do you know she has a daughter and a son named Bethany and Daniel?
Sometimes I get there early and they're still there.
I heard that Miss Ekstrom knows how to do something that also makes you smile. What is that?
Her tongue touches her nose.
Her tongue touches her nose. Miss Ekstrom's tongue touches her nose. How does she do that?
I can't do it, but I'll try.
Okay, you go ahead. Oh, that's a good try. And Miss Ekstrom can actually do it. And does she do that a lot in your classroom or just once in a while?
Once in a while.
When does she do it?
Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday. Miss Ekstrom does that every Tuesday. Oh. Well, it's been a long time, Amanda, and I remember you well as a kindergartner. You were as cute can be.
Thank you.
And of course, I remember the infamous Stacy Ekstrom story.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
About the nose?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What
yes,
was it that you said?
That she can stick her tongue on her nose.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And that was a vivid memory for
yes.
you as a kindergartner.
Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Right? Yeah, not Wednesdays, just Tuesdays.
Just Tuesdays.
Yeah, that Miss Ekstrom hasn't lived that one down yet. Thanks to you.
Yes.
So as you think about Ventura Unified School District and the years that you've had in our district, are there any special people that come to mind that you would really like to give a shout out to?
My English teacher this year, Miss Phelan, she was my favorite teacher. I loved going to her class every day. She really taught me how to be confident. She didn't care what anybody thought. She was very outgoing and outspoken, and she didn't really care. Like, if somebody was being out of line in class, she'd just be like, hey, like, knock it off, I'm the teacher. Mm-hmm. And I really like that about her. And she's very straightforward, like, what you see is what you get. And she's very inspirational to me, and I look up to her a lot.
She's a great teacher.
Yes, definitely.
So, can I ask you about this reading? You said it's kind of hard. Mm-hmm. What was the hardest part about reading?
I'm thinking everything.
Thinking everything. I would agree.
Because I have to sound them out.
Oh, that is hard. How about those B's and the D's? Do they get confusing?
No, we don't have B's at our school.
Oh, no B's at your school. Okay. Do you have any D's at your school?
What?
Do you have any D's?
What do you mean?
Like the letter D?
Uh-huh. We learned ABCs too.
Okay, but no B's at your school?
No.
Just D's?
Mm-hmm.
you expressed to us that at your elementary school you didn't have something that we thought you had. Do you remember what that was?
Yeah, it was bees.
You had no
we
bees.
didn't have any bees.
We're talking about reading, and I asked you about the B's and the D's, and you said no bees.
Yeah.
So what about today? How are you doing with the B's?
Sometimes they're a little hard. I mean, no, I know my alphabet.
You got it down now?
I got it down.
And you got B's?
Yeah, I definitely have B's.
And you know the difference between a B and a D?
Yeah,
All right.
I definitely know the
Good job,
difference.
good job, good job. We've done our job well. And also, are there any moments or experiences in Ventura Unified that really stand out to you that were like, yeah, that was significant, or that's something I'll never forget? Is there anything you can think of?
My junior high school graduation. It was the movement of going from a smaller school to a high school.
Right. But
So-
that meant something to you.
Yeah, it meant something to me, a lot.
Well, that's good for us to know when we think about, cutting back on programs. Back in the day, when you were a kindergartner, you told me that George Washington was the president. Do you remember that?
No, I
No?
don't.
Do you know who the president is now?
Yeah, it's Obama.
You got it.
Yeah,
All right, all
got
right.
it.
But you also told me that a certain person was the one who told you that George Washington was the president. Do you remember who that was?
Yeah, my dad.
Your dad, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that your teacher is so smart that she could be the President of the United States? You do? Why do you think she could be the President of the United States?
Because she's the bestest teacher you could ever have.
Well, first off, who is the President of the United States?
George Washington.
George Washington is the President of the United States. Did your teacher teach you that? No, you just knew that?
My dad told me.
Your dad taught you that George Washington is the President of the United States. Good job, Dad. Yeah, so how's your dad doing now?
He's good. He's good.
He's good. And
Yeah.
does he talk politics with you?
Not too much.
Not too much,
Nope.
but he definitely has helped you to know who the president
Yes,
is. I'm glad to hear
definitely, I
that.
guess.
Your teacher selected you out of all the kindergartners to be a part of this video. Why would you think your teacher would have selected you back then?
I was a crazy kid.
You were a crazy
Yeah.
kid. Okay.
Super crazy. Like, so much energy.
Ah,
A lot of energy.
that might be the reason why she chose you.
Probably.
And are you do you have a lot of energy today?
Not as much as I did. A little more laid back now, but
Okay, all right. Well, that's probably why she chose you. And I'd like to talk with you just about what you've been doing from then until now, and what interests you. What are your outside activities?
sports.
Any
pretty
particular sport?
Soccer. Stay pretty active with soccer.
Okay,
Just
excellent.
Go to the gym.
Excellent. Okay.
That's about
And
it.
as you think back in your career at Ventura Unified School District, are there any memorable moments, any experiences that still stay with you today?
Some dances at Balboa were pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
The beach days were always fun.
The beach days.
5th grade, 8th grade beach days.
How about high school memories? Anything in high school that was...
Some parties, I don't know.
Okay, all right. It's probably more than I want to know,
Yeah.
right? As you also think back in Ventura Unified, are there any people who stick out in your mind as having just been really helpful or really memorable to you?
Yeah, Miss Bentley at Balboa in the office. She's really nice.
What was it about Miss Bentley that made her immediately come to your mind?
I don't know, every day going to the office, she'd always be the first one to talk to you.
Okay,
Just brighten up your day.
okay, all right. Now, you weren't going to the office for
No.
You
No.
just happened to be walking
My
into...
friend was diabetic. Go up to the office to help him every day in class.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you got to know Miss Bentley through
Yeah.
that. Another thing that I recall about you that was precious is that I asked you, what's the most important thing you learned in kindergarten?
How to be a good friend.
Are you still a good friend to people?
I hope so.
You hope
Think
so.
so.
You think so?
Yes.
And when you think of yourself as a good friend, to you, what does a good friend look like now as a young man?
Not going back on your word and sticking to really what you say. Yeah.
Well, you learned that way back in kindergarten, so you still got it.
Thank you.
Great. Nice to see you again,
You
Dakota.
too.
What's the favorite thing that you did in kindergarten?
Math centers.
Math centers. And what do you do in math centers?
We play with toys.
Do you work with numbers?
No.
And when you think back to when you were in kindergarten, remembering that a kindergarten teacher chose you out of all of her students, or his students, why do you think they chose you?
They probably chose me because I was really curious and I always ask questions, so.
Okay, that's probably why. You're probably right. Well, I remember you, and many things that I remember, but one of the things I remember about you is that you said you loved math. How are you doing in math these days?
Oh, I'm doing great. I still love math a lot.
You
so,
still love
yeah.
math? And is that your favorite subject?
Yeah, it still is.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And as you think about a person in Ventura Unified who really has made a significant difference in your career, in your life, who would that be?
I would have to say my math teacher from 8th grade, Mr. Powers.
Oh, there you go, math again.
Yeah.
And why Mr. Powers?
He loved the kids and he was really good with us and he taught great math, so.
So he inspired you.
Yeah, he
And
did.
I assume you're still doing well in math at the high school level. Excellent, good for you.
Thanks.
When you think about after high school, do you think of yourself in a career that involves math?
I do think of a career myself in math, so.
What are you thinking about?
I want to be a biomedical engineer.
A biomedical
Yeah.
engineer. That's great.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you. Well, yay for Mr. Powers for
Yeah.
inspiring you. It's a great story. I notice when you're thinking, you look up a lot. How does that help you to think? Yeah, that just helps you to think. When you think about memories in the Ventura Unified School District, and particularly in elementary school, can you think of any memories that really stand out in your mind?
Probably this past year in track, we ran at the Channel Island League Championships, and I had a lot of fun there. So.
Okay. And can I ask you a question? Does it still help you to look up when you think?
Yeah, it does.
Still helps. Huh? If you had to think back on the days in elementary school, were there any significant times in elementary school that you can remember?
I had a funny time with my principal once. She came up to me thinking I had no shirt, but it was just a brown shirt and it matched with my skin color. So,
Oh, how funny.
yeah.
Well, that's a funny memory. And which principal was that? Do you remember?
Miss Duprat.
Miss Duprat,
Yeah.
who's now retired.
Yes.
Yeah, excellent. Also, I remember that you and I talked about your citizenship as a kindergartner,
Yeah.
and you told me at that point in time that you had never been to the principal's office.
No.
Is that still the case?
No.
No, not the case anymore. So what happened?
Well, in elementary, once I stole a juice, so they took me to the principal's office.
You stole the juice box in elementary school. Any incidences since?
No.
I think you're still doing all right. Good job.
Thanks.
Good job. How do you get to school? Do you go on a bus or do you?
I drive my car.
You drive your car? You know how to drive?
No, my mom
Your
drives.
mom drives the car. One thing you told me in the video was that you were driving as a kindergartner. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yes. And so how do you get to school today?
I actually drive myself to school now.
You sure about that?
Yes.
Tell me what you've been doing since we last saw each other.
School.
School.
Lots of school.
Lots of school. And when you think back to many, many years ago when you were selected by your kindergarten teachers, who were your kindergarten teachers?
I had Miss Thompson and Mrs. Schmidt.
Okay. Why do you think they selected you out of all the kindergartners to be in the video?
I was a pretty loud kindergartner with a bubbly personality, so I think they saw me as a perfect candidate.
And what about today? Are you still pretty loud with a bubbly personality?
Maybe the bubbly, not as loud.
Not as loud. Depends on the situation,
Yeah.
I'm sure. And right now you're at Ventura High School as a Cougar. What are you involved in? What are the activities that you're involved in?
The only thing I'm really involved in is I'm a varsity soccer player for the school.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank
Were
you.
you a soccer player in kindergarten?
Yes.
You were. You were. You didn't tell me that in the video.
After all these years, still am.
As your memories of Ventura Unified, obviously over a long period of span now, what's the best memory you have in Ventura Unified?
Just lots of the activities that we did. I remember like the maypole in 5th grade and all of the plays that we did in elementary school. And there was always just a lot of extra like curricular stuff that they had us doing that kind of kept us occupied outside of school. So it wasn't just all school all day.
So would it be fair to say for all the teachers and staff members who are watching that makes a difference?
It does.
Maypole activities and all
Yeah.
the extras really make a difference in
It
your
gets you
memory bank.
excited to go to school some days.
Right. Now, if you drive yourself to school, how do you get there? Give me your directions.
Foothill, just take it all the way down. Or Main Street. It's kind of a Just go straight.
Go straight. Have you got your right and left down now?
Yeah.
You've got that down, you sure?
Yes.
All right, all right. If I had to get to Sunset, what would I do?
You would take the freeway that way, and you would keep going, and you keep going straight, and then when you come off the mountains, you have to turn, and then you turn, then you start coming this way, and then you turn that way, and you turn that way again, and then you turn that way, and you keep going down the street, and it's over there.
Years ago, you said some pretty funny things on the video, and one of the recollections that I have is that you were a little directionally challenged in terms of how to get to Sunset School. How are your directions now?
I think they're good, though I still don't know a lot of street names here.
And when you're relying on getting somewhere, what do you rely on today?
GPS,
Oh,
Google
okay,
Maps.
there you go, there you go. The easy way, or for some of us, the hard way. You also said that George Washington was the president way back when. You know who the president is now?
Barack Obama.
Good job, good job. You've had your history lessons well. How do you feel about Barack Obama being our president of the United States?
I think it's nice, it's interesting. It's like an interesting change of events. It's nice to see things start to diversify and change as time goes on.
And also, when I think back on that video, I remember you as a bit of a shy, kind of quiet demeanor. How did you feel about coming back and doing this video again?
I was pretty okay with it. I've gotten mostly over being a shy person through high school and like presentations and just like life.
Excellent, excellent. And speaking of high school, tell me what you're involved in high school.
I'm in AVID, which is like a school group or kids who are the first ones in their families to go to college. And we do community service, and it helps kids with their classes and helps them get better grades so they can be on the right track to get to college.
Excellent, excellent. And next question is, of course, where are you going to college?
I'd like to go somewhere on the East Coast.
East Coast, good for
Yeah.
you. And what would you like to major in?
Culinary arts for colleges that have it, or I plan on doing business too.
Okay. Are you in the culinary arts program at Ventura High School?
Not yet. I'm gonna be in it next year.
All right. So you're a cook.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Well, I have no doubt that you'll be on the East Coast in college. Good for you.
Thank you.
Any Ventura Unified School District staff members that really stick out in your mind as having made a difference in your life?
Mr. Clerk, the French teacher, and then Mrs. Southwick, the AVID teacher too.
Okay. So Mr. DeClerc, the state teacher of the year.
Yeah.
Why would you say Mr. DeClerc?
He teaches different. It's not teaching to the test or like anything like that. I would say it's more comprehensive, and he's more like together with the class, always talking and always standing and like moving around. And he speaks French most of the time because I'm in his French class, so then it's just, you learn it easy.
Excellent. And what's your favorite subject?
French, probably.
There you go. Great teacher becomes your favorite subject. And you also said Miss Southwick. Why Miss Southwick?
Because she's the AVID teacher, along with Miss Schroeder also. And just being the AVID teacher, she helps a lot. She'll eventually help with like college apps and essays, and with the SATs, and just being in school and getting through classes and everything like that.
Great. Well, congratulations on being in the AVID program.
Thank you.
Do you think about going to college, Diego?
On my last day of school, when I got home, my friend Nino came over, and he bring me some money for college. Know how much money it costs to go to college?
How much? I'm afraid to hear.
100.
No, $100 to go to college. And is that what your friend brought you? Did he bring you $100?
When I go to college.
When you go to college, $100 to get into college. And do you have any idea how much it's going to cost you to go to college?
Yes.
What do you think?
It's probably, I don't know exact price, but it's a couple thousands, like 50,000 or more.
So definitely more than 100, huh?
Yeah.
I've often wondered what happened to the $100.
Oh, I don't know.
You haven't seen it lately, huh?
No, I remember getting it, but that's all I remember.
That's all you remember. That was a precious moment that you were going to college and it was going to cost $100. So when I last saw you, you were a Portola kindergartner. Has it seemed that the years have passed by quickly for you?
Not really. I think it's a little bit slow, but I still remember.
Okay. Do you remember being here? Do you remember taping here?
I just remember green, but
You remember the green, yeah, and it's still green, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. Well, obviously a lot has changed since we last saw you, and you're now a Ventura High School Cougar. And tell us about Ventura High School. What's your favorite subject at Ventura High School?
Probably chemistry and science is my favorite.
Okay. And was that your favorite subject area throughout your schooling?
No, I liked math up to pretty much high school, and then I got introduced to the more science, and I like that.
Great, great. And as you think about after high school, do you think you'll go into a profession that involves chemistry, science, or what are you thinking?
Some kind of science.
So when you get up in the morning, what is it that motivates you to get up and go?
Probably sports.
Okay. And what sports are you participating in?
Wrestling.
What do you think that athletics does for you as an academic student?
I think it teaches people how to discipline yourself to work hard in academics and sports, and keeps you fit.
When you think back of what you learned in kindergarten, I asked you, and what was the most important thing you learned in kindergarten?
All of it was important.
Now that it's many years later and you think back to kindergarten, is there anything that you think was the most important thing you learned?
Probably the main, like, English and science, and how, like, state and math and pretty much everything, because it sticks with you as you get older and you use it.
And what's the most important thing you're learning in high school?
I would think the most important thing is English, because it involves writing, and the writing has to do with getting a job and other things. Like.
What's 4 plus 4?
6.
4 plus 4 is 6. Who taught you that?
Mrs. Wallace.
Mrs. Wallace, good job. 4 plus 4 is 6. Good job, Mrs. Wallace. As I recall, many years ago, your math wasn't outstanding.
No, I guess it wasn't. You know, 4 plus 4 is 6, so.
And you blamed it on your teacher.
I did. Poor Miss Wallace.
Poor Miss Wallace. You told us that she taught you that. So what's 4 plus 4 now?
8.
8. And how are you doing in your math classes?
Good.
Good, good. Tell us, what courses are you taking in math?
Last year I took geometry, so next year, or this year, I'll be taking algebra 2.
Excellent. Yeah. What are your thoughts after high school and beyond?
College, hopefully, and starting a family way, way farther.
Way, way farther. Okay. And any specific major or any career ideas that you have for your future?
Yes, I don't know for sure yet, but I've always thought like working with kids, like my mom, but somewhere along those lines.
Somewhere along those lines. Maybe be a teacher in Ventura Unified.
Yeah, maybe.
There you go. There you go. Call me when you're ready.
Okay.
As you think back on being here as a kindergartner, first off, do you remember that experience?
I don't remember the experience at all, which is kind of funny though. But looking at the video was hilarious.
Do you think of yourself as what I asked the teacher to send me was a precocious verbal kindergartner? Do you think of yourself as that person in kindergarten?
Yes, well, definitely when I was in kindergarten, in all elementary school. I think maybe having my mom as a teacher there made me feel more relaxed maybe, and I knew all the teachers and everything, so I just was myself.
Right. And how do you see yourself today?
Not as crazy. I know when not to yell,
Okay.
so that's good, but still very vocal, and around my friends, like, still the same.
You know, you've talked a lot about leadership, and I recall that unlike everyone else that year who said George Washington was the president, you said, do you know who our president is? Who's our president?
Mrs. George Washington.
Mrs. George Washington. It's nice to have a lady president, isn't it? And do you remember at all why you might have said Mrs. George Washington?
I probably was just nervous, maybe, but hey, having a woman president wouldn't be bad. So
That's right. So that was going to be my next question. How would you feel about having a woman president?
girl power.
Go
that
for
sounds
it.
good.
All right. All right. You ever had to go to the principal's office?
Kindergartners don't go to the principal office
Why not?
because we're too young.
Oh, I see. Okay. So I have to start by asking you, have you ever been to the principal's office?
I've been called in, but I was never in trouble.
Excellent, excellent. So you followed the same path as when you were in kindergarten. And tell us what you've been doing since we last saw you. Tell us about your high school career and what you're doing now.
I'm on the high school volleyball team at Ventura High School, and I've been playing club volleyball for about 5 years now, almost 6. So that's been fun. I've been involved with a couple clubs here and there, but just mostly volleyball.
Mostly volleyball, and I would assume you're a great student. What's your favorite subject area?
I like science. I had biology with Mr. Klopfenstein freshman year, and that was my favorite class so far.
Great, great. Why was that your favorite class? What was it about the class that made it your favorite?
A lot of the kids in the classes were my friends, so that made it fun, and then the environment that Mr. Klopfenstein created was really good.
Are there others in the district who you would identify as being really significant in your career as a student?
One of my teachers this past year, Ms. Reynosa, she's just so passionate about teaching and just truly cares about us. So,
boy, she's been mentioned many times in the last 2 days. That's a real tribute to her. If that is an area of interest to you, do you see yourself going into a career that would involve the sciences?
Yeah, I'm interested in environmental science and kind of biology and kind of going on and making the world a greener place.
Oh, great. Good for you. When you were in kindergarten, obviously your kindergarten teacher selected you to be in the video. Do you have any idea why you would have been selected?
I think I was pretty outgoing. I like to talk a lot, so
Okay.
I like to be on camera.
And how about today? Or do those attributes still describe you today?
The camera, I'm not really sure, but I like pretty outgoing. I like to talk to people.
Are you at all involved in politics? Is there anything in the political arena that moves you, interests you?
This past year in Ms. Reynosa's class, we do a project near the end of the year. We do a nuclear power debate, and you kind of pick a group which you want to go on. You can either be a resident of Ventura, Ventura City Council member, an environmentalist of California, or the nuclear power industry. And so that kind of interests me. And then after that, she talked about being involved with the mock trial. So I'm kind of interested in going into that next year.
Oh, great. Good for you. Great. James, when you think about kindergarten, what's the most important thing you learned all year long?
How to read.
That's pretty darn important, how to read.
Yeah, because if I was grown up and I didn't know how to read and I had a car and I couldn't read a sign, like don't go in here, I couldn't read it and I might go in there and crash and maybe die.
So since I've last seen you when you were in kindergarten, tell me some of the things that you've been doing over the years.
Okay, well, I'm in high school now. I play water polo for Ventura High. I'm in ASB at Foothill.
What's your job in ASB?
Next year I'm going to be designing the Renaissance t-shirts.
Excellent.
And also the Renaissance cards, a lot of the student incentive type things in the Renaissance program.
Excellent, congratulations. And you said you're a water polo player.
Yeah.
As you think about water polo, and are you also a swimmer or a surfer? Or?
Yeah, surfing was what got me into water polo originally. Like I've been surfing since I was really, really little with my dad.
Okay.
And when it came time for high school and we had the presentation on sports, water polo just seemed the closest thing to surfing.
Thing. Excellent.
Yeah.
And you've enjoyed water polo?
Yeah, definitely.
Who's your coach?
Matt Cherry at Ventura High.
All right. Has your participation in sports at all impacted your role as a student?
Definitely. He's not just coaching us for water polo, he's teaching us lots of life lessons, and one thing he stresses is the importance of academics. Like during finals time, he you could have a break off of practice if you need to go home and study. So always telling us to make sure to keep our grades up, because overall that has to come first before water polo.
Excellent. And what are your plans after high school?
Well, I definitely want to go to college. I don't know what I want to major in or what career I would like. The only thing I do really know is I'm not interested in the healthcare profession, just because I don't really like blood or
Okay,
wounds.
so you're absolutely
Yeah.
not interested in that profession. When you think about college, do you have any preferences at this point? Or?
I definitely want to go somewhere in Southern California. I considered Hawaii, but I think I would surf too much and maybe not get my work done. But I definitely like how it is in Southern California with the weather and the surf. I've looked at UCSB, that's where my dad went, and this summer we're gonna go down to San Diego, look around some colleges around there.
I've noticed a theme. UCSB by the ocean, San Diego by the ocean, Hawaii. My daughter went to Hawaii, and I can tell you, it's a tempting place for a surfer. When you think back on why on earth were you selected, of all the kindergartners at Sarah's school, why do you think you were selected?
I was adorable. I was an adorable little child.
Well, you're still adorable.
Yeah, I am still adorable.
I think you're absolutely right. I think that's why they selected you. And what have you been doing since we last saw you that many years ago?
I've been playing softball, just like nonstop, focusing on school, trying to get the best grades I can.
Good for you. Good for
Yeah.
you. And do you play softball at Buena?
I do.
Are you on the winning Buena High School girls softball team?
Yes, I am.
You are. So tell us about that.
It's just been incredible. I came in freshman year and we had whole new coaching staffs. And Tisha's just been wonderful. Like, she's deaf, so it's like, but she does not let that like hold her back at all. Like, she's just an incredible woman, and she's an incredible coach.
That's great. So this is Tish Duran.
Yes.
That's absolutely exciting.
Yeah.
And when you were in the video many, many years ago, you were actually a very shy child at the taping. I remember it was hard to pull things out of you. But one thing you told me was that you wanted to be. And what would you like to be when you grow up?
A veterinarian.
A veterinarian. Now, why would you like to be a veterinarian?
Because I like animals.
A vet. Do you still want to be a veterinarian today?
No, I don't.
You don't. What do you think you were thinking then?
I don't know. Like, I've always just had a love for animals, so it's like probably just the one job that I probably knew that involved animals. I have no idea.
You have no idea. What do you want? Do you have any idea what you want to do after high school and beyond?
No jobs, like, specifically. Like, I know I want to do maybe something with kids, like maybe like a pediatric doctor type, and I want to travel like all around the world.
Travel. What has athletics meant to you in terms of helping? Obviously, it's inspired you, but how, if at all, does it help in your academic performance?
It's really shown me to like work together, like especially if we're in like a group project. It's helped me like be more like interactive with the other students, and it showed me that I really need to focus and stick to what I need to do. Yeah.
Are there any heroes in Ventura Unified that you'd like to give a shout out to? Anyone who just sticks out in your mind as someone? Obviously, you've already mentioned Tish Duran.
Yeah.
But anybody else?
Tisha's been great, but my middle school ASB teacher, Mr. Duenas, he was absolutely incredible.
What was it about Mr. Duenas that was incredible?
Just the fact that he's always there. Like, I know it's a really basic thing to say, but he really is one of those people where you go to him with a problem and he'll help you solve it. If you have a concern, he'll take care of it. And if you just need advice or someone to make you laugh, he's always there.
He's the one.
Yeah.
Well, I hope he's watching the video to hear that. And you go to what school?
Foothill.
Foothill High School.
Yes.
All right, you're a Foothill Dragon. Tell me some of the best things about Foothill.
I really like how clean the school is.
All right.
The teachers there actually they're funny, young, but they care and they're smart.
Okay, and tell me some of your best memories at Foothill.
I think the Renaissance Fridays they have there, just the whole school is just happy, cheerful. We get some free snacks during lunch. Just makes the school spirit
Makes a
fun.
difference. Excellent. Yeah. Good, good. Well, it's been a long time since I've seen you, and when you were a kindergartner, one of the aspects of your video was that you were a mathematician and you wanted to show me. Now in Miss Guzman's class, I want to know what you learned this year. What did you learn in kindergarten?
Math.
Math, and what did she teach you?
What 10 plus 10 was.
In kindergarten you learned 10 plus 10. What is 10 plus 10?
20.
Oh my goodness. Did you learn 20 plus 20?
40.
Oh boy, Miss Guzman's a good teacher. Did you learn 40 plus 40? I think that's first grade work. I can't believe you learned that in kindergarten.
80.
Miss Guzman is the best teacher. How did you learn that much in kindergarten? Tell me how you're doing in math today.
Great. I almost got an A+ in Algebra 2 honors, but then this project didn't do so well, so got lowered to an A-, much to my dismay.
Okay, sorry about that, but that's not too bad.
Yeah, it's still an A.
Yeah. What are your memories of Mrs. Guzman, your kindergarten teacher?
There are a lot. She's still a nice person. I see her often because I live near the school.
Oh, okay.
And she was my second grade teacher as well.
Oh.
So
All right.
she was probably my favorite teacher in elementary school.
Okay, all right. Now, speaking of favorites, do you have a person in the district that you feel like has really impacted you as a student or an individual?
Yes, my 9th grade English teacher, Mr. Geib. He just changed my whole perspective on writing. Like, he was open for people to say whatever they felt like, whereas from 8th grade and below, it was kind of like say something the teacher might actually want to hear. So that just changed how I wrote, and suddenly I actually became a good writer and didn't get terrible grades on all my writing benchmarks.
Great.
Writing
good,
essays.
Good. Well, shout out for Mr. Geib. That's good. That's great. Follow the golden
Ground.
Follow the golden
Rainbow. Follow the golden map.
Better safe than
To run in the street.
than to run in the street. How about this one? 2 is company, but 3 is a
Better number.
2's company, 3's a
3's not.
where there's smoke, there's.
Cigarette.
I'm going to give you some quotes that we gave to the kindergartners, and you just finish the quote for me. 2's company, but 3's a
Party.
Okay. All right. Very good. Follow the golden road. Okay. 2's company, but 3's a
Charm.
Okay. Great. Follow the golden.
Brick road.
Okay. Where there's smoke, there's
Flames.
follow the golden.
Brick road, but I think it's yellow, so I don't know.
Okay. Follow the golden.
Brick road.
Better safe than.
Sorry.
2's company, but 3's a.
Party.
And 2's company, but 3's a.
Industry.
Oh, what?
Industry.
An industry. Okay. Okay. Thank you. In the kindergarten video, I gave some quotes and I asked the students to just finish it. So I'm going to give the same quotes to you and just finish it as you see fit.
Okay.
You can't teach an old dog.
New tricks.
Okay. Where there's smoke, there's.
Fire?
Okay.
Okay, cool. I got that one right.
There's no right answer. Follow the golden.
Rule?
Okay. Better safe than.
Sorry.
And 2's company, but 3's a.
Oh, gosh. Crowd?
Okay, wow.
I don't-
Got them all.
Did
Got
I
them
really?
all.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. I think you're the first one.
Yes!
You got them all.
And the seasons, they go round and round, and the pains of ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return, we can only look behind from where we came and go round and round and round in a circle.
What did you learn in kindergarten? Tell me the most important thing you learned in kindergarten.
Always wash your hands after you touch an animal.
Always wash your hands after you touch an animal. The most important thing that Miss Ekstrom taught you in kindergarten.
We can only look behind from where